go.
Alright, I will continue with my sweet vampire Candice, written by me, Teresita Blanco. The blood was sugary enough due to the diabetes. Still, it had a particularly acrid taste. Normally, Candice did not drink much of the fellow, but since she was particularly hungry, she drank 400 milliliters of blood. She would have drank more, but the back of the fellow started looking pale, so she stopped. At that moment, one of the other clients entered the bathroom. He was agitated due to something he had taken. He screamed when he saw Candice biting the fellow. When he pulled out his gun and then he shot the young man. He would have shot Candice too, but a large claw entered through the back of his head and it exited his mouth. The human fellow died on the spot due to the severity of the blow. Candice recognized the noseless face and the sunken black eyes and golden eyes. Standing before her was her father, Marlow. He said to Candice, "What are you doing here, Candice?" "Well, said Candice shyly. "Are you really that stupid, Candice?" barked Marlow. "I'm sorry, Daddy, but," said Candice, "wasn't that a little overkill?" Take your shower, Candice," said Marlow, "and when we get back, I need to have a serious talk with your grandmother, yours, Anya. Apparently, she has been homeless for quite a bit." Candice entered the bath and she started washing herself. Marlow sat down on the toilet while staring at the floor. He noticed the dazed and confused old man. The old gent who had been shot looked at Marlow, and then he looked at Candice. Eventually, he bled out. As for the others, they had heard gunshots and ran away. Chapter 3. A Good Day. The following night, Anya awoke to find Marlow staring down at her. Due to his grimly form, she had the natural reaction of screaming before punching his face. Marlow sighed and he said, "Good night to you as well, dear Candy." "It is Anya," said Anya. "Whatever, who cares," said Marlow. He then added, "So, Candy, how long do you plan on keeping Candice here?" "I was hoping she would get bored and return home. I don't really feel like looking for a permanent home. Therefore, here don't bother me with anything. I am quite contented. And if my room is needed, I can just go sleep under a bridge and come back another time," said Anya. "You're a hobo, Grandma?" asked Candice, shocked. "I am not a hobo," screamed Anya. "See, there is a roof. It is just not there most of the time." "Why must you torture yourself in this squalor?" asked Marlow, sitting by the bedside. I'm not torturing myself. I like it here. I can stay here and go as I please, and nobody touches or pays me any mind. It is practically as if I did not exist. And besides, who are you to judge, Marlow?" asked Anya. Candice had gotten out to check up on her phone. She had all of the core components drying inside a jar of rice. Marlow was quiet after this rebuke. He was not one to tell Anya how she should live her life. Marlow then said to Anya, "Your life stopped being your own after you had Maruru. You owe her at least an explanation as to why you left, as to why you abandoned her." "Gosh, again with that," said Anya, getting up. She paced around the room a bit before storming out. That was the final night Anya spent in the dingy motel. As they were leaving the hotel, the police arrived. Candice looked at her father, worried. Marlow regarded the police officer with bored amusement. One of the officers looked at Marlow and then at Candice. The officer ignored Candice and her party in order to continue with whatever business they had in the motel. The trio and the bird made their way through the commotion of police cars and sirens. Candice parked her items inside her father's Nissan Maxima. Even with the overall roominess for the front driver, Marlow felt like he was stuck inside a sardine can. Marlow drove slowly, not because he was loud, but because of traffic. After thinking a bit, he drove to a friend's house. He would crash there every so often in his garage. He had a bed and a tiny closet. Candice and Anya slept on the bed, while Marlow preferred to sleep standing up inside the closet. From this safe haven, Marlow started looking for a more permanent residence. Since Anya had confined her room in the Westland Mall, it's funny when the music thing cheers. Since Anya had grown fond of roaming the Westland Mall, Marlow set about looking for an apartment near the place. Marlow eventually found a quaint little apartment complex called Savannah Apartments. The apartments were near a kids' water park called Ducky Den. The park also featured other venues like baseball and a soccer arena. There was also a playing grass area for kids to play whatever. Marlow thought that the place was a good hunting ground for his little daughter. At night, the park was visited by drug dealers. The juvenile dealers sometimes appeared alone. They were perfect targets for vampires or for something worse. The day Marlow was ready for the move, he found his daughter floating upside down in the pool. Marlow gingerly lifted the chin of his daughter till her face was above the water. Marlow said to his girl, "You keep floating like that and all the mosquitoes will bleed you out." "Mosquitoes?" asked Candice, confused. As she incorporated herself, she felt that her back was rather itchy. As she scratched, she said, "Filthy bloodsuckers." Since Candice was having a bad time with the itching, Anya, who was reading while wearing a burqa, went about to make her an ointment. Anya had long since given up on the fight against the true vampiric menace of South Florida. It didn't matter what spell, scent, or ointment she used, those bloodsucker mosquitoes were relentless. In the end, the only feasible solution she found was to wear a burqa or a beekeeper's outfit whenever she went out at night. Candice, like her grandmother Anya, had what the local Cubans call mosquito blood. Those miniature Aedes aegypti sucked more blood than other vampires in Florida put together. From time to time, there was a new project to get rid of the darn thing or to control the population. Nothing ever worked. The most ancient of residents knew it was a losing battle. Florida will always be a swamp, a mosquito-infested swamp. Candice asked her father, "Do you think the police is still looking for you?" "Why would they?" asked Marlow, showing his hand. Candice petted her father's hand. Smiling, Marlow said, "See, no fingerprints. I think the humans call it a dermatoglyphia." Candice looked at her hand and she saw that it was the same as his father. Frowning, she said, "It is amazing how you can go your entire life without looking at your hand closely." "Oh yeah, what time?"
7 minutes.
"But if I don't have fingerprints, whose prints did they use for my passport?" asked Candice. "Mine," said Anya. "Am I going to die?" asked Candice, worried. "No, silly. You might not sweat as much, but other than that, there's nothing to worry about." Candice made bubbles with her mouth in response. Marlow left the pool area and he returned with a newspaper. On the front page, there was all the details of the gruesome crime. Marlow, smiling, showed the newspaper to Candice. "See, they are blaming the Mexicans. They think it was an execution-style, drug-related crime, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, the forensic guys think I killed the guy with a shotgun. Hey, I outdid myself." Because remember, like in the chapter, he just punched right to the guy. So, like, they equated his punch to like a shotgun blast. "You're a meanie, Daddy. Don't you think that was a bit of an overkill when Candice?" "My sweet Candice," said Marlow, smiling. "If a fellow tried to harm your mommy, what would you do?" I will pump that guy full of lead, and I don't even own a gun," said Candice, making her small hands into a fist. The night rolled by quietly. The silence was eventually interrupted by the arrival of Marlow's friend. He was a milk drinker, and not considered a true vampire by modern standards. He went by the name Bazuki, and like most of Marlow's friends, he was quite ancient. He was so ancient that he had been a disciple of Siddhartha Gautama. That's a Buddha.
Vampire Buddha?
No, just a regular Buddha.
Alright.
Like Buddha lived in the year 700 before Christ. But now I'm rambling.
Okay.
Like, so basically I'm saying that he was 2,700 years old.
Gotcha. And you, Vampire Buddha.
No, the Buddha is not the Buddha. He was a disciple of the Buddha.
Okay.
As a milk drinker, he liked the sharp teeth, and his nails were not useful for drawing blood. Without those basic physical attributes, without the vampire teeth and claws, Bazuki looked like a normal human. He was 5'4". His eyes were pitch black and was the color of molasses, and his hair was short, black, and curly. Marlow had three bazookas from the control of an evil sorcerer about 2,500 years ago. Ever since then, when Marlow needed something, Bazooka was always eager to help. Bazooka noted a very bored-looking Candice. He said to Marlow, "Why don't you take her out to eat some human food or something?" "I would if she asked," said Marlow. "Can you show me to a good food place?" asked Candice. "I could. I know of a fun place nearby," said Marlow, smiling. "You do?" asked Candice, getting out of the pool. Candice went to the garage door and she went to the bathroom to take a quick bath. While she showered, Anya was sewing while she saw reruns of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Bazooka could not help but smiling at the scene, like a vampire watching the Vampire Slayer. Johnny, he said, "I'm going to check up on my goat. Call me if you need anything." I need a
what?
Goat.
Oh.
Cabra. Bah. No way, that's a sheep. It's a goat.
Good.
He's a milk drinker. He needs a goat to drink milk in order to extend his lifespan. It's a type of vampire from India.
That drinks milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's not considered a vampire by modern standards.
But he totally drinks milk. Goat milk.
Yeah. "I need a bigger room," said Anya. "This is what you get for the amount of money you're willing to pay," said Bazooka, smiling. By the time Candice was ready to head out, Anya had switched gambits. She started to read over the information that Marlow had gotten her. She pondered on whether she wanted to move to the Savannah apartment. There were several other rooms available for purchase. One on the first floor, second floor, and a multi-family condo. Marlow drove out, and since he was feeling in a particularly evil mood, he drove Candice to a McDonald's. Candice had never seen such a place. She naturally gravitated to the slides and the ball pits. While she fooled around there, Marlow got her a little Happy Meal with a toy. When it came time for her to eat her meal, Candice held the chicken nugget, and she asked her father, "What is this?" "It is chicken. You like chicken," said Marlow, grinning. Candice raised an eyebrow, and then she bit down on the chicken nugget. She soon made a face, and she spat the nugget into the napkin. Marlow laughed, and then he said, "All right, let's go to a real restaurant." Marlow, while he drove, he kept giggling. Candice was in a foul mood and was not saying anything to her father. It had been quite a while since her father had teased her. She had to build her immunity to his childish pranks again, otherwise they were going to become more frequent. Oh yeah, what time?
2 minutes.
Eventually, Marlow took his daughter to the Versailles in 355 Southwest 8th Street, Miami, Florida.
Hashtag not spons.
Hashtag not spons. Like the place is it was a good restaurant back in the day, but everything went to hell with the modern. Okay, I'm divagating. The place had opened in 1971. It was famous for serving Cuban food. Candidates asked for election would sometimes appear there in order to try to get the Cuban vote. When Marlow drove near the place, Candice thought he was messing with her again. The nearest parking lot was near a creepy-looking building surrounded by willow trees. Indeed, the area of Artsy at night seemed like a good place to get mugged. The restaurant itself had a decent vintage exterior. Alright, let's just continue with this later. Bye-bye and God bless.